All right. Hey. All right. It looks like I've got my audio going. I am re-recording this because I went to go edit it and it had no sound. I swear I'm having some technical difficulties this week. It's just been one of those weeks. So please bear with me. Sorry for the late upload. I hope you enjoy anyways. So some of you may know, yes, we are talking about the head shaving story. So I did write about this a little bit on the blog, so please feel free to check it out over on mrandmrshexum.com. Oh, it's over here. And then just head over to the blog section and scroll till you see the head shaving stuff. And there it will be. I am going to be answering some of the most questions or the most asked questions I have received from you all about why I cut my hair. And to be honest, there's only like a couple of really big ones that I've been asked repetitively since I first announced I was going to be cutting and snipping my own hair. So let's get into it. So, if you are new here, I cut off all of my hair. I had over 24 inches, it was probably like 27 inches in total of hair. Came like all the way down to my back, sorry. I'm nervous because I haven't recorded a lot of YouTube videos. And I recently decided to cut it all off. And how I've got a lot of like how long did it take me to grow, because obviously you can go back on like the website and other places and see how long my hair was, and it took me about 6 years to grow it out or so. About 6 years ago I did a similar chop, not as short though, it was just like a little like bob here, like jaw length maybe, like right here. And so it was like a little bob, jaw length, and so it was like 6 years of growth. So I will be having hair grow back in no time. As you can see, I did the first shave for the tattoo exactly 14 days ago. So this is 2 weeks worth of growth here. I'm going to be getting into that in a minute. The next question I got a lot was like, have I ever been bald before? Like, have I ever cut my hair before? No. The answer is no. I've never been completely bald before. I've had like the bob, like I mentioned, where it was like pretty short here. And then when I was younger, when my hair was super thick, I used to like shave the bottom of my hair here. So from like the top of my ears down, just this little patch here. I used to shave because of where I lived. Like I would overheat and it was like super hot. So I would never like actually like razor shaved it, but we would like buzz it short like this just under my hair, just so that like the back of my head wouldn't overheat. So why did I cut my hair, y'all? This was like the number one question I got. Like, you have long hair. Why would you cut it? For one thing, like I've said before, I've done it short before. And I like to do that every so often because it gets untamable for one thing. Like completely untamable. It gets everywhere. It gets stuck in places you don't want it. It's hard to wash. It's hard to dry. And ever since I started cutting my hair and stuff, when it's healthy, I like to donate it. I didn't do that this time, and I haven't done it in a long time because I've been dyeing my hair, but maybe in the future it is something we will do. That is what the original plan was until it decided to go to a new home. So the next thing is like, it's just hair, y'all. Like, hair literally, for me at least, like grows like a Wookiee. Like, I make jokes about me being like a hairy Wookiee because I grow hair like no other. So you may know I am very natural, like 95% of the time. So like, it's just hair. It'll grow back. To me, it's not that big of a deal. We'll totally just be back in no time. Like, yeah, and you can change it. Like, I've dyed it, I've cut it short, you know, you can dye it many different colors. It's not like a tattoo that is permanent. Speaking of permanent tattoos, though, that is the third reason is because I've always wanted a head on my tattoo. I've always wanted a tattoo on my head ever since I found my interest for tattoo and tattooing and that whole shebang. I've always wanted a head tattoo. I always thought they were awesome. And the furthest we ever got was like this neck tattoo here, and like we didn't shave anything or like cut my hair or anything. We just went along the hairline. So this was really exciting. I really wanted to do like the bam, like side of my head. So yeah, that was another major reason. Like I've always wanted to do it. What better time? I'm always going to say another time. So let's just do it and have the experience. And fourthly, man, I think bald women are sexy. I think they're beautiful. I've always kind of had a, what do you call it? Like attraction to bald women. Yeah, there's that. I'm blushing talking about it and thinking about it because yeah, I think bald women are super sexy, and I've always thought that it takes a certain level of confidence to rock a bald head, and now that I am experiencing that, I feel that more so to be true, because let me tell you, I have gotten some looks, y'all. I've gotten some looks, and I live in like a kind of smaller town. It's kind of split up between like religious and non-religious communities, so like, let me tell you, I got some looks. I go to the grocery store and get some looks, y'all. So definitely, it takes a certain confidence to like be able to be like, I'm sexy with a bald head. So yeah, there's that. I just think that it's sexy. And yeah, I'm liking it. Let's talk about that now that it's done. I'm really liking it. I'm liking the fact that I don't have to spend a half an hour washing it, and I don't have to spend 3 hours waiting for it to dry, or an hour with a blow dryer in my hand trying to dry it out. I'm happy that I'm not finding, 2-foot long hairs in places I don't want them. I really wish I would have maybe done it when we were fully off grid, and didn't have like the water and the electricity and stuff, because it's made things so much easier, and I kind of wish I would have done it back then. Excuse me, but I'm really happy now. I might for a while keep just the tattoo side shaved, just to flash off that ink for a while, but I am gonna grow it all in eventually. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna shave it again. Anyways, so now I'm going into more of like how the tattoo went and why it's not finished and stuff like that. So yeah, if you can see, it's not finished. It just looks like a couple of like scribble lines. And so before I even go into like the whole tattoo, I would just like to make a little disclaimer saying I am not recommending that you go buy tattoo equipment and start tattooing on yourself. When I talk about tattoos, that is never what I am aiming for or trying to tell you to do. It's just my experience with tattooing. My husband has been hobby tattooing for over a decade. He was training under an apprentice, or has an apprentice for a little while, so like he knows proper procedures and like how far the needle depth is supposed to be, and certain things like that. So yeah, please just don't be like, I'm gonna pick up a tattoo machine and start tattooing yourself. That is not what I'm saying. I would just like to make these little disclaimers, that we have been doing this for a while. Why we do it in our home as like a hobby. We have been like advised and trained by professional. We even are in contact with like current tattoo artists. We kind of, like Q&A, like ask questions to, kind of like what went on with my head. Like we were able to be like, hey, and so we kind of like mutually talk about that stuff. Please, that's not what I'm saying. Please don't take it that way. I'm just sharing my experience with you. So first of all, the problems first started with laying the stencil, and after again talking with the actual like professional. It's most likely because I didn't back shave. So I mentioned in a couple of previous videos and on my fan page and on a couple of live TikToks that I was like really nervous and clumsy trying to get the head shaving content. So I didn't like back shave in multiple directions. I only went with the grain. So when we went to go like lay the stencil, there was like little hair sticking out, so like the stencil didn't lay properly and kept sliding. And so it was really just frustrating from the start. It took us probably about an hour to get a good lay at the stencil, and we kind of just ended up laying it and then him freehanding it anyways. So it was a little bit of a challenge. We've Q&A'd that, and I'm gonna like back shave it a bunch when I do it in a couple of days, and hopefully that helps with like laying the stencil and sliding, because we have like I said, we've been tattooing like over a decade. We've never had this problem with like laying a stencil. At first maybe we thought it was just because my head was round. The professional tattoo artist really thinks that because I didn't like back shave, like I should have like shaved like up and down and then like side to side. So that's kind of like, yeah, that's where it is. So we were already like frustrated and, you know, maybe not in the best headspace to begin with when we finally got to actually pulling out the needle and the tattoo, or starting the tattoo. The next thing that I wish I just would have said, let's wait, and just held off on the content is because 2 days prior I decided, or sorry, the day before, I decided we were gonna go eat like a big old plate of nachos because who doesn't like nachos? I love nachos. Well, I jabbed a like corn chip in the back of my mouth here and like ended up with a cut in the back of my jaw. So we didn't think it was gonna be that big of a deal, but I'm telling you, like as soon as he started working down here, it just like this whole area was just on fire. I mean, this whole area was just on fire. Like up here was fine. I was like almost falling asleep through some of this, except for this one spot back here, which we'll get into. But like the whole head up here was fine, but as soon as they got into like this back here, where I think was like connected to the muscles that were sore from the chip. See, everything kind of lines together. It's so weird. So anyways, because I'm not paying a tattoo artist by the hour, I didn't prepay for the session, I'm not in a tap out session, like we're in our own home, there's really no need for me to like kind of grit my teeth and bear. So when we kind of got to that point and I was just like, it hurts a bit more, and I was really like gritting on my teeth, I was just like, time to pack up. It's already been a frustrating situation. You know what? We'll just call it good. Which is kind of cool because it allows me to shave my head another time for you. So the last thing that I'm also kind of glad why I stopped and decided to stop is because we learned that we probably should have taken the needle depth back just slightly in a spot or two directly behind my ear. So if you look, there's the spot that is a little closer, like right here. And so there's like a ear tube, I don't want to say like tube, but there's some sort of tendon right here. So when he hit it with the normal depth, it kind of like rattled it. And I had this constant ringing in my ear for the next 9 days afterwards. It was a bit scary. It was like, you know, like when you fire a firearm with no ear protection, or like, you know, back in the 90s when we were making like dry ice concussion bombs. Very dangerous. Don't do that. Not saying do that. We were very stupid. And like your ears would just ring, you know, because of the very loud repercussion. And it was just like that, except it was just in this one ear. Again, professional recommended that we in this spot back here directly behind the ear where this line was. When we go to do it, to just back the needle back a little bit so that when you're going over that kind of thin, sensitive ear area, it doesn't cause so much of that like repercussion and ringing, so to speak, because ear tattoos and head tattoos, they've been known to cause minor damage, even when everything's been done correctly. So it is something to be aware of. We were aware of it beforehand. I was aware of the risks before we started. But it is, I guess, a little bit more avoidable if, you know, you just back the needle off a little bit. Of course, the ink might not stick as well, but I mean, for the sake of my hearing in my right ear, I mean, seems worth it, right? Okay, so there is the major rambles on why I decided to cut my head. If you have any more questions you'd like me to answer, just drop them below in the comment section, and I will happily do a second one if you would like. Thanks for joining me for my rambles and my head shaving story. I know a lot of you have been following it from the beginning before I even did it and just kind of announced it. So thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here and experiencing this with me, because it's been a wonderful experience, and y'all have given me some wonderful support and tips and tricks along the way. Like, I don't think this head shaving would have come out so well if I didn't have y'all following me, helping me, giving me tips and tricks on how to do it. So anyways, thank you. I look forward to it, and have a wonderful night.